Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to our live chat. We're going to start off with playing the song, just hopefully that you can see the song and us at the same time while we get everybody into the chat. And then once it finishes, I'll welcome you all to the show and we can get started. So
good afternoon.
I am One Generation Media, and this is my media. One Gen Media, walking the streets with a yes, yes of the UK, the courage of the UK, pushing my cam to the limits. I'm standing right here in a crowd, or in London town. One Gen Media, walking the streets with a yes, yes. Gotta realize all the MSM realize. No mics in faces. I'm standing right here, ready with questions. Give me your answers. One Generation Media, first generation of true media. Needed everywhere with my real life. No one feeding me lies. Talking points are nothing for a self-made journal. I'm your YouTube, you know it's pretty sick. Gotta realize all the MSM realize, bringing you the news that the legacy refuse. One Generation Media, first generation of true media. Needed everywhere with my real lies. First person view, reporting of current affairs. I am One Generation Media, and this is my media. One Gen Media, walking the streets with a yes, yes, holding a mic to the voiceless, shining a light on the silencers, keeping our speech free in the UK. I am One Generation Media, and they use us as cogs in a wheel that they can't live without. Imagine if it all stopped spinning. Gotta find a way to unite, gotta keep up the fight. I am One Generation Media, and I am One Generation Media, and I am One Generation Media, and this is my media. Yeah, this is my media.
Very
And
good.
this is my media. How are we doing, everybody? Welcome to this afternoon show. It's a bit of a rushed one. Welcome back, RBM and Zen, my regular guests
Good to
that I
be
have on
here.
the show. But we have a new guest with us today. We have Lieutenant, Lady Lieutenant. How are you doing? Thank you for
Yoo-hoo,
joining us.
everyone. Hello, yoo-hoo. How are ya?
Welcome.
Good.
Welcome to the madhouse.
The madhouse. Well, it is
It's
on
a
a
nice
Friday.
little madhouse.
It is on a Friday. I say today, everyone's probably heard the news. The Tommy case court appeal was rejected. If you did watch my live during the live stream, you'd have seen that a lot of mental health discussions were brought up during the day. If you have seen the court case as well, because it was streamed live from within the building, you'd have noticed that the barristers argued to and fro about the ADHD and the PTSD, and a new one on me, which Zen was trying to talk about during the live, CPTSD. So while none of us are qualified, I don't know if you've got any qualifications, Lieutenant. I think mostly it's going to be on personal experiences, because all of us have experienced one form or another of this. Some of you more than others. So if you're up for sharing your stories, I think that's what we're going to do today, and just generally get a feel for it in the chat, and hopefully it will sort of coincide with the decision that's been made today in the court case, and we'll go from there. But I say, how is everyone? I'll go clockwise round. I'll start with RBM. How are you today, RBM?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Been busy. Just about got this started in time.
Yeah, I didn't even realise it was going ahead until you messaged me like an hour and a half ago and said, I'm going live. I'm like, what? I says, I didn't realise this. Had to
Yeah,
get
because it
ready,
should,
did my
would have been
hair, you
later.
know, all of that.
But I think you forgot about the football is on tonight.
Well, yeah, I say we've been
Yeah.
busy today as well. Working, everyone's got things that they've been doing. Big match tonight.
I'm going to get my roots done later. Can't
have
Friggin'
freaking
the,
wait.
the Arsenal Cup today.
The chat is lively. Hello, D. Hello, Ferret.
Oh,
Hello,
the
Old School.
comments. I
Hello,
always
Lisa.
forget the freaking comments.
Lisa
Hang on.
Sargent
Yeah,
in the
hello
house.
everyone in
Hey,
chat.
there we go.
Let's go, Lieutenant. How are you today? What have you been up to?
Hey, people.
I'm all right. I've been just sitting, playing with the AI, getting into making more music, like being quite experimental with it. And I'm more than happy, like what you were saying there about mental health. Yeah, I'm not like qualified in healthcare at all. I just have my own experiences and stuff that I've researched. And with regards to mental health, like I've been in a lot of peer support type situations. So I've heard a lot of testimonies from other people. So I have an understanding of certain conditions because of what people have told me, as well as some things that I've experienced myself. So I can come at it from that. And I do have some half concrete, possibly coming to concrete opinions about Tommy and what's going on with him, which I think is a terrible shame, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It definitely is. I say Zen was with me on the live. She was trying to do her best to update people that were watching, you know, regarding certain terminologies, etc. I was going to say hi to people in the chat. We've got Gossie in today, so hi Gossie. Ferret's Variety Channel, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Lisa Sargent, moderator, thank you for being here. Old School 2485, welcome to the chat. Anybody I've missed, put your comments in and we'll get to you as I can. But yes, I'll say, I mean, Zen, did you want to start off about the CPTSD and the difference between that and the PTSD? Because I didn't know that during the live.
Yeah, I'm not a mental
might
health
be
professional,
helpful for
but
people.
with my autism, I can honestly say I've spent hours and hours and hours of my life researching it, because unfortunately the mental health services are really not there at the moment, and unless you're in a major crisis, and if you're somewhat where I am, in like a calm place in life, and yes, you don't really ever heal from it, you just learn to cope, and you're just trying to, there's not really, unless you want to pay for it, and it's quite expensive. But yeah, the difference between PTSD and CPTSD. So PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder, and usually involves one traumatic event that has left you with after effects. And there are so many of them, I'm not going to list them now. But CPTSD stands for complex post-traumatic stress disorder, which means there's been one or more or recurrent traumatic events. And yeah, and that can actually change the wiring of your brain. So it is it's not really spoke about enough. And me personally, there's not enough research done. There's not enough help out there, because it literally, there is proven scans that it does change the wiring of your brain. So and we're kind of left to float out here, darling, with no help, unless you're in crisis. So
That does kind of make sense. Yeah, because I mean, if you know, when it comes to PTSD, you think probably everyone probably has PTSD to a certain form, something bad that's happened in their life, you know, would give them a slight bit of PTSD. But this complex PTSD, like you just mentioned, if it happens again and again, you're going to be, it's going to hit you hard, isn't it? So
also with trauma,
more afraid.
You can have like trauma, and then if it doesn't get addressed or handled, then it's sort of like one of those things, like a snowball. You're more than likely going to get into more trauma. Trauma breeds trauma. So that's how it's, most people that end up with PTSD will develop complex by just, and sometimes I can look back at it now and I think, oh Jesus, you know, how did I think that was going to help in any which way or loose? But you know, you live and you learn. So that's but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know RBM or Steve and Zen, both of you have had crowd issues before. Lieutenant, how about you? I mean,
crowd issues. What do you mean crowd issues?
Fear of going to crowds.
Yeah.
You know, like the protests to begin with, the events, things like that. In the beginning, you were a bit hesitant, both of you. You know, you didn't want to.
See, that's not PTSD. That's just anxiety for that one, because obviously you see all these atrocities that have happened in the world, like the Manchester Arena bombings, etc. And that's terrorism, and terrorism is there to make people afraid to go to places like that or go to big events. That is what terrorism is. That's why they do it. And of course, yeah, both me and you as well, Zen, I believe, we both feared going to any big events. So like the first United Kingdom event, I was terrified. I was like, I never put myself into a big crowd because of what's happened in the past due to terrorism. And eventually I was just like, I can't hide away. I got to go. I want to go. And I went, it's fine. And now, yeah, it's fine. There's still that little bit of anxiety there, isn't there? That could happen, but it's always going to.
That's the thing, though, like, with I say with both of you, once you've sort of been and you've had a good experience, does that then
It's not just
help you train your brain to, accept it more or something?
it's not just the what, but I just think I just want to say, like, even when I went for years ago to Pride in London, I've watched too many court programs and that all over the world, from America to see things. Yeah, I'm always going to be cautious. I live in London. It might be the CPTSD, it might be just reality, who knows. But yeah, I live in London, I'm realistic.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily being less scared. I mean, maybe, because at first, it's your first time going, so you're terrified. You're thinking, oh, what if this could happen? Put the fear in you. So once you go, yeah, it gets a little bit easier because it didn't happen, but you know that it could always happen, so it's always going to be there. But I suppose once you do it, once you believe in, having to be there, like standing up for the cause, you just do it anyway. I basically say to myself now, yeah, there's that chance, of course, and if it happens, it happens, Nothing I can do about it.
I try not to
That's
live my days or my life in fear. I like to think that, don't think.
I like to be prepared. It's not about living in fear. Like, just for instance, if I'm just going to say that I noticed that, the walls were up when we was at the other protest, and I thought, well, either way, if something starts happening this way or that way, I'm climbing up that wall, mate. So there's always an escape route, and that is a symptom of CPTSD. So always an escape route.
That's good to know. It's good to learn, the thought process, etc. I mean, growing up as a kid, I was always told I had ADHD, just a hyperactive kid or what have you. I mean, as you get older, and I suppose there's been more more things on it, more evidence, etc., you can kind of realise a few more things.
I think a lot of people
about it.
A lot of people don't understand the second part of ADHD.
Trying to find it.
You've got quite some comments.
Add to that, Lieutenant, regarding crowds and anxiety.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is an anxiety thing more than a PTSD thing. But someone with like I have PTSD, and I do believe that mine is complex PTSD. I've got there's been so much said that I'd like to quickly go through them actually. Zen was talking about CPTSD, complex PTSD, right? The difference between that and PTSD, and she's bang on. There's also childhood PTSD, and then there's complex childhood PTSD. But a lot of these ones, if it's not called PTSD, a lot of people in the mental health sector, and I'm talking psychologists and psychiatrists, don't recognize the C part. Whether it's childhood, whether it's
I didn't realize
complex childhood, or whether it's just complex, meaning an adult complex. But an adult can have complex childhood PTSD because of stuff that's happened in the childhood. But as Zen was saying, like, once you've had that one thing, if it's that one traumatic event, if it's not dealt with, like, every time you get triggered, it can be another trauma. Because it's as if it's happening again, and the reactions around you and how you're reacting, you can get PTSD from something you've done, not just what's happened to you. So it can all, like she was saying, snowball out of control. But she's right that it's very, very limited in the mental health sector. Like, I was going to one mental health charity for therapeutic purposes, and we did a little research project on the state of the mental health sector in the UK. And we went as far back as 80 years ago. And there really is, apart from the buildings, very little difference in how they do things. Like, okay, the drugs might be different. And
lobotomies.
In a good and in a bad way. Lobotomies, there's a difference there. They still use ECT. It's supposed to be for the most drastic situations when someone's catatonic and there is absolutely no other way of bringing that person. Yeah, I know a few people, and I know one person who actually tries to make themselves like that so they can get it again, because it helps them forget things.
Oh no, this lady's very traumatized and speaks out against it, and it's left her with definite trauma.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. There's a lot of people who speak against it. I'm not for it.
No.
But I'm just saying there is that one case where I know someone who, because of what's going on inside of them, what's happened in their
It
past,
could be
and
a form of
everything,
self-harm, to be honest.
it could, yeah, well, yeah, it is, because it's avoidance of what they know will come to the forefront of their mind if they don't get this ECT. They're avoiding dealing with those memories. So it's a double-edged sword, but I do think it's still over-prescribed or administered even to this day, but not as bad as it used to be, going off what I found out. But as far as treatments are concerned, like, I moved to London in 2020, and compared to where I was before, I would have thought Westminster would be up there, you know, with the healthcare, and it's not. It's down there. It's even worse than
Unless
where
it's
I was
private, I
before.
suppose.
Well, yeah, they're all trying to make a buck down here, but it's hit and miss. Like, there's people who aren't proactive about healing themselves, and there's people who aren't proactive about supporting the people that they're paid to support. So, you know, we're not all good at wanting to look after ourselves and be better, but that's also down to where you are within yourself. And, you know, there's always new therapies that are coming up. I don't know if you've heard about BAT instead of CBT. It's behavioral activation therapy.
Oh, I've heard of EMDR, and I had
BAT.
BAT. It's a bit batty.
Yeah, I was going to say, so that's where the
BAT.
term batty comes from.
I'm going for my back therapy. I quite like that.
Yeah, well, behavioural activation therapy. I went to a workshop in County Durham about 7 years ago, and this psychologist or psychiatrist, I think he was talking about it. It was something that it's all common sense stuff, right? If you're stuck in the house with depression, you've got no interaction with the outside world. Depression, you don't want any interaction with the outside world. So you're never going to get any better, because doing something can be that starting point of coming out of that depression. So you're stuck. So behavioral activation is about the services interacting with people to get them to make that one step, and not get them to, but to support them into wanting to do that, you know, talking about things so that it seems like a good idea to the person that they actually try it. So it was very interesting. I've not heard of it being rolled out yet, but I do hope that will come out.
Has that got something to do with, like, brain training? You know, you can retrain your brain, I suppose. Does that work emotionally as well? You know,
well, I think on this, like, a similar level, yeah, that will be it. You need mental stimulation. You also need physical stimulation. You know, I hear Dr. Jordan Peterson says a lot about clean your room. Just start with one room. Just tidy the little area around you, and it snowballs, and it turns into doing it more and more and more. And eventually, you start looking after yourself, because you feel good. You've actually achieved something.
Yeah, people get overwhelmed, don't they? And they forget that you have to start with, like, baby steps. I think that's usually.
At my therapy, there's a good saying that they come up with, and it says, even any progress is still progress. So small steps any progress is still progress. So even if you only did a couple of things that day, and I'll definitely say, like me, I'm autistic ADHD, and sometimes there's only a few trusted people I'll be around, and if they're not available, because obviously they're not my beck and call, and the sun doesn't shine out my backside, I will always go, I have my sausage dog, or you can go into nature, and I'd always say, find yourself a little hobby. That's the best thing you can do, a productive hobby that doesn't involve alcohol or other substances. So that's the best advice. So, like, I've got but then you pick up, like me, quite a few hobbies, and I have loads of them, but I love them all. So
Metal detecting is a good one.
Metal detecting, magnet fishing, camping, arts, and also arts and crafts. I've got a whole little art studio. I've got my garden. I've got my sausage dog. I've got my kids who I love. I like watching. I enjoy watching science fiction. And I'll tell you, like, 20 years ago, I would cry if I was on my own. Now, like, I can't wait to be on my own to get on with my bits. So it's the mental health, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I say some days I go out, and a lot of other days I just want to stay by myself. I think that happens a lot with other people as well. But then hobbies, I say, we've all got hobbies. I mean, if you're going to give some of yours, RBM or Lieutenant, I mean, gardening. I think gardening is very therapeutic. It's one that I enjoy doing. Just while we're on the subject, anyone joining us late, please like and share this stream. Try and get it out to some more people. But yeah,
like I say, metal detecting was always a good one because you can just go out into a field.
Plus, it keeps you fit.
Just
too,
out in
and
nature on your
outdoors.
own, with your own thoughts and that, and just.
And it's exciting. I love metal detecting because you never know what you're going to get. And that, for me, the dopamine I get from that, which ADHD, dopamine seeker.
Yeah. And like you say, art is quite a common one, isn't it? Like art therapy has been around for a long time as, a legitimate form of dealing with issues is doing art.
Yeah, it's very mindful because it takes your mind off everything else. You've really got to focus. So it's good for you, bringing you back to you as opposed to all your worries and your anxieties.
It's
like I used to just get myself lost in the game.
Getting that creativeness in your brain going, because you've got the two different sides, haven't you? So, I mean, making music, gardening, arts, metal detecting to a degree, they're all, you can all be creative in all of them.
It's like, I mean, it's even now I took up golf a few years ago, if I feel like getting out, I can just go to the course even though I'm crap, if I want to be on my own, just walk around on my own, hitting a few balls and out, looking at nature and stuff, it's lovely. It's a good sport for that as well, for helping just being out.
I think nature, especially
in cities, I think nature is undervalued, isn't it? Like being able to go out and
and camping.
A lot of people don't appreciate it, but also I think, especially if you live in cities and stuff now, a lot of people can't always get to it enough to appreciate. I'm very fortunate. I'm not going to state where I live, but I'm really fortunate that I have nature right literally at my back door. So that's good. For that. That's really nice for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the centre of London, I mean, all you've really got is parks, isn't it? I mean, luckily, I don't live too far in the centre of London. Like, I'm more on the outskirts. But
well, the thing is,
where I live, there's places everywhere I can go. You've got beach, got nature reserves, lakes.
I love the beach so much. So, oh my gosh! Oh, I think I think all the ADHDers love the waves.
Yeah.
In central London, though, like you've got the royal parks, and they really are. It's like when you go to Hyde Park, I don't feel like I'm in central London because all the ducks, the geese, all of that malarkey. Like when you go around the Serpentine and all that, it doesn't feel like you're in central London at all.
I suppose I'd have to walk around there properly. I've never actually walked around Hyde Park properly. The only time I've been there was to go to that Speaker's Corner.
Yeah,
I've never actually walked around.
You should spend more time in it. It's really good by it, and it's attached to Kensington Gardens as well. It actually is. It's huge piece of land.
It is beautiful down there, but if for me, I don't going into central London that relaxing. So that's luckily for me. I've just got outside my back door. So if I'm not going to grasp myself up there. And do you know what? I don't really care if people laugh at me, to be honest, because it's actually a good bit of advice. Sometimes in my life, when I've been really upset, there's a special tree that I go to that's absolutely huge near me, and I feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's really helped, to be honest.
Tree hugging.
I could never fit my arms around her, but just sometimes I climb up there. Sometimes, but
a lot of people say you can feel the energy off the tree when you hug them. I mean, I don't know. I tried it once and I was like, I ain't feeling nothing, so I didn't really do it again. But
you can in the winter. If you do it in the winter, you'll be able to feel it easier because you'll actually feel the heat from the tree, which.
Really?
Yeah, it does.
I think it's the shape of them, like it takes you back to your childhood when you're vulnerable.
This one's huge.
The one who hugs you is always a lot bigger than you, and it just makes you feel like you're being hugged.
It's like a big mother tree to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I give the dog a break, moaning at her and go and moan at the tree.
Well, I mean, have any of you looked into earthing? Like you could earth bare feet and stuff on the ground. And on the ground, you can earth yourself. And
that's so earthing, grounding, same thing.
Yeah, grounding, same thing. But I say it's the same if you think about trees. They're all earthed, aren't they? They're all in the ground, so they're all going to be.
I always go stand on the roots in the garden. I've got a video of it up, actually.
I've not observed it as any kind of practice. I know people do like a certain routine and all of that, but I always remember like being out with barefoot on the grass and just putting my foot as flat as possible into the grass. It just feels lush. like
Yeah.
that.
No,
I love that, and the sand as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wish I want to live near
Yeah.
the beach one day.
I'll say
Come
earthing
visit
ground
me, we can go
definitely
to the
works.
beach.
I mean, they proved it, haven't they, with a car battery and that you can sort of earth yourself and then check if you're earthed or not with the battery and at what frequency you end up going to. So it definitely does have an impact, I think. I mean, we're all
Yeah.
told to wear shoes nowadays, so none of us gets the benefits from earthing. But you think back thousands of years when people didn't have shoes, they're probably much more in tune with their surroundings and nature.
I saw a picture of shoes from people. Oh god, I don't want to say it wrong, but it's from a long time ago. And their shoes were made of leather, but they also had little square magnets from the magnetic stone in them, flattened.
Yeah, I
So,
think
yeah,
you can buy
really cool.
magnets for them. Yeah, I mean, there's sheets you can get as well when you go to sleep, and you can plug that in. I mean, you can plug it into a plug now because that's got an earth in it, but you can do it the old-fashioned way and just run a wire out to the outside.
A copper wire? Is it a copper wire?
Yeah, a copper wire and plug it straight into
Oh,
the
yeah, I've seen that.
into the earth.
I'm going to do that with my plants this year and put the wire on the bamboo stick, twizzle it round, and put it in the. Yeah, see if it makes my. I want to see how big I can get my rose to grow.
Oh, you'll have to start singing to it. You know, they proved, didn't they?
I talk to her
scientifically
every
that-
day.
Oh,
Every day I
singing
talk to her.
Well, they did an experiment, didn't they? Where one plant got shouted at every day and the other plant got talked to and nourished. And you could see the difference in the growth using the same soil.
And I gave her
medium.
some friends as well, so she's quite happy actually. She's quite happy, Rose.
Yeah, that's true. I say, so what can all of you tell us about ADHD now then? Because I mean, years ago when I was told I was hyperactive, I don't and had ADHD. I don't think it was such a big thing as it is nowadays.
I'm late diagnosed, so
this is
everyone
it.
told me I was a pain in the arse.
Yeah, I was kind of the same. I mean, there's two types of ADHD, isn't there? A lot of people just think ADHD, hyperactivity, etc. But there's also ADD, which is classified as ADHD, but without the hyperactivity, which is attention deficit disorder, which was I was diagnosed with. And you know, growing up, I was just told I was EBD, which was emotional behavioural difficulties. Whereas all along, you know, I had ADHD, and they just put it down to being EBD, which was just a term they used for naughty kids. But yeah, no, I got diagnosed by a professional when I was 18. Saw a specialist, and they diagnosed me with it, which is why I'm slow and I can't find the right words and I can't think fast enough and so on. So it's hard to work with, but manageable once I slow things down. But yeah,
You find
so,
it's more manageable if you take pressure off yourself and you allow yourself to just take your time and not worry about what other people might be thinking of you because it's taken you a little while longer than most people.
well, that's one of the things with having it is you always care what other people are thinking of you, what you look like, you know, everything. You know, if I walk down the street, I think, you know, who's looking at me, like everyone I walk past. It's just kind of a thing. But the weird thing about it though is when I go to these events with all the big crowds and that, it all goes away. If I walk down a quiet road or a quiet street, I'm all anxious and I'm thinking, oh, you know, if there's one or two people walking up, I'm anxious. You know, they're looking at me, this and that. But once I go to these big events, it all goes away, which is strange.
That's interesting.
It sounds quite like, sorry to interrupt, it sounds quite like what people in mental health circles have been calling the Truman Show syndrome, where people are like paranoid about people watching their lives, their entire lives. But it's, you know, when they're busied with things, it's not a problem. But when they're alone, it's as if they're living in a goldfish bowl no matter where they go.
Yeah. I suppose taking up like doing media and stuff, it's almost like putting myself into a position where I'm going to be looked at. Like everyone's going to be looking who's that, you know, where they're from, you know, walking around with microphones and cameras and that.
Yeah, as long as that's what I just don't mind if you're looking at me. Can you just make it a good angle?
Maybe doing that. I think maybe doing that has made it easier because now you're kind of expected to be looked at. You know, I don't know. It's kind of a strange situation, but yeah.
I was going to say, going back to you earlier, saying about how you can't think of the words and, you know, you talk slowly and this, that and the other. But then looking at some of my interviews I did on my latest video, I mean, when you look at Ezra, for example, and Jeff Taylor, they both speak very slow, don't they? I mean, you know, maybe just take that kind of approach. I mean, they sort of think about what they say, you know,
the person, I think
era.
The problem I have is, you know, when I think of situations like that where you say someone that talks slow, a fine example of that is Jordan Peterson. You know,
I
amazing,
like his
amazing,
voice.
amazing, smart guy, but he's very slow. He thinks about everything.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Whereas with me, when
David
I'm trying
Attenborough?
to like when I'm trying to read a news article or talk about whatever's going on, I'm trying to do it so fast because people, you know, you think people don't want slow; they want quick, snappy, choppy, you know, entertaining, you know, fast. You know, that's
Yeah,
kind of what you get when you stick on
I
a show.
used to do that. Yeah. I
Yeah,
used to
so
do
'cause
that, and it just drives you into a bad place with yourself, to be honest with you. And I
Yeah,
just think,
so
you
'cause I
know,
try and
I'm
speed
going to
everything up.
stop giving in to people because it's actually I'm feeding the beast by trying to please them instead of just doing it slowly. Because I can relate to Jordan Peterson. Like, I'd rather think it through and say it properly than just try and rush it out. So I speak a bit like Jordan Peterson like that. And, you know,
Yeah.
Nose would always say to me, oh, you know, you speak a bit slowly, you should hurry up, you know, try and get me to speed up. But I can't. And I refuse to because I think, no, I don't want to feed that beast. People need to learn to be patient as well. You know, people need to learn what it is to listen. It's not just to have someone say what you want them to say and to say it quickly. It's to take the time to take in exactly all of the message because only 7% of communication is verbal. So 93% is non-verbal. They're missing out on that when they're hurrying you up. So I don't know, maybe try and keep that in mind, Steve. Like, people don't have the right to push you around like that, you know?
And I mean, I've said to Steve before, I say I'd rather speak a bit slower like he does. I mean, I'm one of the ones with the hyperactivity that's like, yap. Whereas I kind of
don't hate on that. Listen, everyone's got their own
fun.
natural flow, what suits them. And at certain times, you can pick it up or put it down. But generally, I'm autistic ADHD, and my ADHD is off the freaking charts. If I'm happy, I'm genuinely at a faster pace. If I'm slow, that generally means I'm worn down, I'm anxious. So for me, if I'm like like now, like like this is natural for me to get. But for me, if I'm sitting there still, it usually means I've got a lot of more. But it does just depend on what your natural flow is. For someone, if I start to try and I don't sound natural. But other people like you two, it sounds much more natural. If you tried to be like blah, 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 it wouldn't be natural. And everyone's like, look, I love David Attenborough.
I do though when I go off on one.
All different, everyone, and I like the way you two speak as well. Like, it's nice sometimes. Like, so everyone's just got their own natural flow.
Yeah.
But when I do start speaking passionately about something or really get into it, I don't shut up. I'll go. You know, it's like, you know, but then I'll fumble my words or something and run out of things to say. And I'll be like, you know.
So that sounds like a confidence thing. That sounds like a confidence thing then, possibly, Steve.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't be analysing you.
No, that's fine. I don't mind being analysed, to be honest.
Also, it's very hard on social media.
Always take advice.
Like, because you can't always speak as you want. Like, especially even just an example to say I can't even say it. Can I? GROOMING. You have to brooming. So you have to double think if sometimes, especially on certain social platforms for me, and that takes away the natural flow and the seriousness of the conversations. Very double annoying.
Yeah, it does.
in terms of ADHD and like, well, with your title about Tommy's appeal and, you know, the ADHD, basically, if people think he's suffering in there, if he does have ADHD and he's got bad ADHD, then he's suffering tenfold, way more than people think he's suffering if he has.
Preach. He is. And it's not fair. And anyone that thinks he's not, is a word for you. It's called ableism. And you need to go and Google it and look it up. There we go.
I think there's a load of cognitive dissonance around mental health problems as well. I mean, I remember seeing Tommy when he came out of jail after doing quite.
Don't say that word again, Sam. We all went black screened.
Was it about? Was it
only
about 5 years ago?
Do you know something about D? If I'm in the vicinity, do you know I'm getting the blame? Like,
was it about 5 years ago or something when Tommy?
My volume's gone.
Oh, his volume's
gone off, and somehow it's my fault.
So do you remember? Was it about 5 years ago when Tommy came out from doing quite a long time in jail? Something, and I remember seeing his face thinking, oh my god, what have they done to him? I could see PTSD straight away.
If you lot can carry on for a minute,
Well-
I'm going to come out and come back in again because my volume's gone.
Well, he
down.
he already had
Alright.
PTSD. He already had PTSD before that from a stint he done a long time ago where he was attacked and
Yeah.
beaten within an inch of his life by, Islamists in the prison.
Yeah.
And that was at Wood Hill where they beat him within an inch of his life. So putting him back in Wood Hill where he is now, straight away is PTSD. You know,
Triggered,
thinking
yeah.
the last time he was there, he
PTSD
was
now.
nearly killed. Yeah, that's it. So now it's CPTSD because, like you say, it's a recurrent thing.
Well, it always will be
Um,
because he's never had proper treatment, unfortunately.
Well, they won't even
No.
acknowledge the ADHD. It's like honestly, I don't care who it is. Like from whether so it's not just that it's him, but who it is. That's freaking awful, barbaric. Like you said, it's like you said. There's no difference between 80 years ago and now.
Yeah.
Just dreadful. So, and honestly, I've been not accident. Yeah, I don't. What was the word for? Well, I don't know. I'll have to think of the word. I need the word spot on. But it was a travesty that I was locked up where I was when I needed help. And I suppose I made it work for me in the end because I got a quicker diagnosis. But if it wasn't for that, it would have been a complete waste of time. And a travesty is when I got locked up myself because I really needed support, not being locked away. But there we go. So I've suffered this myself. Injustice.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Bluebell. Welcome, Ward.
Yeah, I'll
Jenny's
say
just
hello to
having
Wald.
issues.
Wald and myself were banned from Louis Errington's channel the other Sunday by Business Australia.
I know that name.
Banned from Louis.
Yeah, we were.
wow.
We got banned by Business Australia because we'd said that something was child abuse,
Right.
and he said you're not allowed to talk about child abuse. You know, in Louis Errington, who goes to protest
Yeah.
about child abuse and that. Business Australia says you're not allowed to talk about child abuse in Louis. And we'd only said the words child abuse. We hadn't gone into major detail about anything,
Yeah, that's a bit odd. I mean, a timeout you would have think more than a ban, but that's the thing with Louis Errington. I believe he keeps himself. What's the word? Away.
I can't
think
picture
of
it.
the
I'll have to Google him. Hang on.
Well, the thing
When they
is,
don't engage in a neutral, like he's a neutral kind of.
he is. He's totally unbiased. I like Louis, and it wasn't Louis who did it. Louis was busy live streaming, and it was one of his moderators, Business Australia, who did that.
Yeah. Oh, it's interesting.
It's a crying shame, but I've seen that there's other people have said in the comments that Louis have just been timed out for no reason and stuff like that. I've heard a few people. It's happened to a few people by that Business Australia, so it's nice to see Wald in here anyway.
I guess I've taken over control of the
can't
stream
see a
by the looks
picture
of
of
it
his
because
face.
one Jen is gone.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back. There we go.
Can you hear me?
And
I'm
we can
looking up,
see
but I
you.
can't see a
Yeah.
picture of his face.
Can you hear me?
Just protests. So
I was
don't
just
know
about
who
to
it is.
take lead and lead the rest of the show in your absence, but that's
Can you hear me? though?
We can hear you and we can
You'll
see
be the
you.
quiz master next.
yeah.
Dishing out the peasant hats and the crowns, the red pen.
Yeah, no, I say it's all seems back to normal now. So StreamYard's been playing up for ages, even on other people's channels. I've had to log in again on my bloody Google account and everything. And I don't know why. I say I haven't been able to put comments up easy, but it all looks back to normal now, hopefully.
Yeah.
I
Bluebell
think-
and Ward are in the chat. Lieutenant was just saying that Ward got banned.
Who did?
When Ward got banned.
Oh,
from,
Lieutenant.
Louis.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm still waiting to see Louis about that, but hopefully it will be resolved. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I just also I've been sent this referral link from StreamYard, which I've never had before, so that takes up a lot of my comment space. But yeah, justice for Aisha. Welcome to the chat, Ward. Thank you for coming, and Bluebell.
Yeah, so
please like
so
and
again,
share.
so going
Roman
back to
in the
Tommy and
house.
if he's suffering.
Roman,
Hello,
Sasson.
Roman.
Hello, Roman and Wald.
I'll be able to see Roman's comment after a couple more come up because this referral link is blocking the bottom of my chat. But I say yeah. So where were we before I left? ADHD, or did we pass that?
Do you want me
Yeah,
to
we
get?
were
Look,
talking.
I can read
we
this
were going
little
on
thing
to how
out.
it was, how it would be affecting Tommy if he has it. Like,
Let me just read, if I read this sentence out, just like, so what is CPTSD? Complex post-traumatic stress disorder is a psychological condition that can develop in response to prolonged and repeated exposure to traumatic events or situations, especially during childhood. So, but that is not confined to childhood. Like Lieutenant was saying, that would be classed as childhood complex. Sorry, the Lieutenant would know. She said it earlier, sorry.
Yeah, there's complex PTSD, there's childhood complex PTSD, there's complex childhood PTSD. So I think one of those two would be like if you're an adult now, but there's also one for when you are a child and you've got complex PTSD.
But also, if you have trauma when you're a child and then it repeats on, it just is classed as, it isn't classed as like CPTSD, it's still classed as CPTSD. Like she said, there's not a lot of understanding.
I never even realised that.
And like, but then it's not nice to be compared as levels, because then you would get people like going tit for tat. Well, I've got this and I've got that. Mine is worse.
Yeah.
Where it's a spectrum, like every day. Like you might, for me, I might not have a nightmare for a couple of weeks, and then have a terrible nightmare, and I'm quite back to a lot of all jumping around. So it just depends how it affects you and everyone differently on different days. It's a spectrum.
That's right. And I'm glad that you said that. Sorry to interrupt, Dave, but it's important, I think, to state that the worst offenders for discriminating against people with mental health problems is people with mental health problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little
I won't go tit for tat with people. If you've been, some people can have PTSD from a terrible car accident. It doesn't make what I've been any less invalid. If you've got problems sleeping and eating and your life's still affected.
That's right. It's how it impacts you.
I've got PTSD from a plastic pizza table. You know the little plastic things they put in the pizza to stop the lid going on it. They got 3 things
you haven't
on
got
the
any
bottom.
dolls to go with it.
That's what I used to steal mine for the Sylvanian families. If we ever had a pizza, I'm like, yoink, Sylvanian families table.
But once it fell out once, and it was at the bottom of my stairs, and I went running down the stairs barefoot to open the door, and I trod right on it, and all 3 spikes went straight into my heel. And I've got PTS over them. So now every time if I have a pizza, I open it up, I get the plastic thing, I break the legs off and then put it in the bin. Honestly, it's little things like that.
I can imagine you like, oh no.
Yeah, I honestly do it, and I don't put it in the bin like, still attached just in case. So I break the legs and then put it in. It's weird. Little things like that can like.
That is one of the most randomest ones I've heard so far.
Well, yeah.
I got a bit of PTSD from slugs. I can't. My brother went for a stage where he picked them up and tried and chase me around the garden with them, and I've got absolute I've got, oh my god, that actually make me gag. I can't stand them. Like.
We used to do that to our mum as kids with worms. She used to hate them.
Oh, please. Oh, my God. It actually makes me sick.
I wanted to go back to I say everything you were saying about the ADHD and CPTSD, because I watched the live link from the court case last night from inside the course, and I noticed the barristers were, I don't know if any of you watched it, but they were sort of putting to and fro all the different levels of mental illness, this, that, and the other. But then they were saying at first he didn't want to mention his ADHD, etc., because obviously his son, family, etc.
Well, he said he felt it was a weakness, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, because I reckon you can never trust them. They'll twist it on you, and they'll be like, "Oh, see, he got like." I can see that they would have used that if something happened.
The thing I want to get to is they went to the point of saying that he could have got to the point where he could take his own life because of
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and the ADHD. So I wondered, if you might be able to elaborate anyone on that, the levels, because I say, like, for example, your table leg, Stephen, compared to say other people's, they're all different, even though the
but also it's under different circumstances. Even someone, even someone without ADHD in this situation would be under the most extreme pressure and develop CPTSD.
But this is it. I think
that's just the way it is.
They could go worse together. Like if you have ADHD and
yes, it does.
PTSD, because ADHD you get hyper focus. So if there's something that you suffer PTSD from, like a bad event that's happened in your life, you could hyper focus on that because of your ADHD.
Yeah, it would prolong the flashback.
Yeah, it's like, people with ADHD, they can never really concentrate on too many things at the same time, and they're always switching to different things.
Right? In the weirdest way, and I don't
focus. But once you get into something, all your focus goes into it. It does with me, like absolute hyper focus. I can't think of anything else.
agree.
I have to hyper focus on that and that alone until I get bored of it. And once I get bored of it, I hyper focus on something else. So could it be that if you have PTSD from a bad experience, you could hyper focus on that, enhancing the effects? That's
And
what I
that would
wonder.
turn you manic more than likely.
Yeah.
But also, I just
Yeah.
want to say, I just want to big up the ADHD a little bit, because even, like I just said, even a person with no problems going through this would suffer. But also, when you've got ADHD and he's probably got justice sensitivity, like, which is probably why he's even in the situation he's in now, it'll make him dig deep. Like, we're stronger, we've got some freaking stamina. Like, and also because it's wrong, that's what he's gonna hopefully use to keep going and actually get through it a bit better than other people in a way. Not that I'm saying it, but I'm just saying we've got some. I don't underestimate us ADHD neurodivergents. Like, we're like we can, not that we should be put through it, but you know, we're built different. That's what I'm gonna say.
You can use it to become a warrior, can't you?
Yeah, you can. Like I said, trauma. You never really heal from trauma, but we're good problem solvers in our brain. The fact that you can have like little conversations, and if you read a book, you know, hopefully you can find, like, it's a bit like, it's not fair, but hopefully you can like dig deep, because he knows, and also like, you know, it's wrong, so he's gonna fight it. At least he's gonna get out, but it's still not right.
Yeah.
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 It depends on what type of ADHD he's got as well.
It's a
Obviously, they've
double-edged
said-
sword. I always say that,
Yeah,
being
because
neurodivergent.
like they say, oh, he's got ADHD, but the difference between the attention deficit disorder and the one with the hyperactivity is complete opposites. It's like they're two completely different things, but it all comes under the same term, ADHD. So it depends whether he's got the hyperactivity.
Why did they
or
get rid of the ADD?
I think I think it was because, I'm not sure. I think ADD was just what people were using to describe that they have attention deficit disorder, and only that, like they lack attention. It's like when someone says something. If you say a sentence, like, I have to ask you to repeat things, and I do that often because I'm still processing in my head slowly what was said, and then I come back to where you are on the next story, and it's like, oh, hang on, start again, because I've just finished processing that. So that's the attention deficit. But with Tommy, I think he's got the hyperactivity part, I think.
See, what you just described there about processing things, that could all, like, because I've done the Myers-Briggs, I think it's Myers-Briggs personality testing, and I came out with, I can't remember, it was some years ago, but it was to do with being an introvert, right? And part of that meant that I'm best taking in information, going away and processing it on my own.
That's
Otherwise, I get so flabbergasted that I can't deal with it, and it's still yet to be processed while I'm trying to focus on what's going on. So it seems as though I don't really take anything in because I'm not getting a chance to process it. So I'm slow. I'm like what you just described there. Yeah, I haven't been diagnosed with ADHD or anything like that.
I'm very slow at
processing
emotional things. Like, sometimes if someone insults me, it'll go way over my head for a few days. But I'm very quick at processing like factual information, but emotional information, ooh, that's a mystery to me. But that's more the autism coming out. So I'm actually diagnosed as AUDHD, just to let everyone know. So I'm autistic ADHD, and I personally feel like I have two brains. Like one brain that's kind of split. That's what it feels like for me. So, but my ADHD was
going back going to Bluebell's comment there. I thought that was quite a good comment. It's Tommy always said he would never do anything to himself, and that's true. Everyone knows that Tommy, you know, everyone. I was going to say, you know, when you brought up the suicide thing, I was going to say, yeah, but would he really, or is that just being said? But I can't say that, because if it's mental health related, you can't just say, oh, would it or would it not? Because mental health.
Yeah, he's always said that he would never. Yeah,
I don't think it ever.
But everyone knows.
Satisfaction. Never.
But everyone knows he is an absolute warrior, and he is strong, and he'll go through anything and come out strong. But if mental health is serious, like, and he has it really bad, you never know. You know, that could ruin. I mean, 9 months of solitary confinement, that can fuck your head up so bad.
Peter Lynch comes to mind.
Could, right?
As another example, you know, didn't Peter Lynch have?
Yeah,
PTSD?
he had ADHD.
Yeah.
No, he had ADHD, and that's
Sorry, does the prison service have an obligation to provide Tommy the correct support to get him protective factors and stuff like that. Like my cat's a protective factor for me. Okay, she keeps me from going that far. I mean, I've not attempted anything for years, but like if she wasn't around, I don't know how easily those thoughts would spiral out of control.
Well,
And
that's exactly.
he hasn't got the right support, and he's surrounded by all these jihadis and whatnot, and it's the dregs in prison, isn't it? And then if he's say the screws are giving him a bit of difficulties as well, some like him, some don't, okay, and even if they've got no opinion, some of them can just be downright nasty. And all of his PTSD, all of his ADHD and fears and whatnot because of what's happened in the past, if all of that spirals out of control and he hasn't got a protective factor, he hasn't got the correct support, someone to talk to for half an hour, however often, he could easily go that way, unfortunately.
This is what
protective factor would be his kids, wouldn't it?
In court, wasn't it? Though they were saying about how they're lying, but we don't know what's true and what's not. But it looks like the prison side of things might not be telling the truth. But he's supposed to have a certain amount, because of his mental health, isn't he? He's supposed to have a certain amount of telephone calls a day. A certain, it was 4 2-hour visits a week, which the prison guard argued was more than other prisoners get, but we don't know if that's true or not. We also know that these telephone calls, which, like you say, is his connection with people, so his outlay has been cut off. The telephone calls have been stopped.
Well, yeah,
and then
I did a video on it. He had 10 hours. He had 10 hours calls. He could have 10 hours a day of calls, and they cut it down to 2 hours as punishment. And the 2 hours that they gave him were when his kids were at school and his mates were at work.
Punishment for what, though?
Yeah. For people recording telephone conversations that he was having with them, putting out information.
No, I just want to say, because I personally just say, if you've got ADHD like my kind, you've been through that, I'm going to tell you something. You'd have to, I would never give, and people have tried to push me over the edge, I will never give them the satisfaction. Never, ever. If I really thought people were trying, it's like sometimes recently someone's really tried to provoke me into an argument, and because I know they want to provoke me into an argument, they're not getting one out of me. Oh no, you don't. So I'm really, I personally think I hope the ADHD wins, and it's like I wouldn't wish that anyone to end it anyway, but I mean, not over
these
this.
things happening.
Don't let them win.
From all of your examples, these kind of things happening are going to affect more, aren't they? So if he's expecting the call, he's on the call, and the call gets cut short, doesn't get a call. There was also another thing they argued about his food, because he was eating canned food.
Well, yeah, if
so
that
he doesn't get. And I saw this yesterday. So he doesn't get the food poisoned, etc., etc. There was talk that they'd given him a kitchen space so that he could prepare food. But then these jihadis or something came into this segregation area, so he wasn't allowed in the kitchen space, which I believe they keep saying he had a painting and decorating job, which would have been, I guess, preparing this kitchen area. And then to have that taken away, do you know what I mean? So, if you're eating a can of tuna a day, say, or something, you've then been given that kind of little lifeline, I think when the review was, which was in November, to have this kitchen space, to be able to maybe, eat different kinds of food, then to be, I guess, halfway through getting that ready, to have that then taken away, these people moved into the area, along with the telephone calls being cut off, the visits being stopped, a day before they were due. All that's going to affect the PTSD, isn't it? And the CPTSD. If you need that routine, don't you? You need some kind.
Well, yeah. Again, it's like with ADHD as well and hyperfocus. It's like you said about when he had his calls cut off. Now, if you're speaking to your kids,
that
all
really
of a sudden,
would F with someone. Really bad.
If you're on the phone, you're speaking to your kids or whatever, and they just cut the call.
That's
right, he's
devastating.
going to go away. Oh, now he's going to be sitting there. What are my kids thinking? Are they thinking that I've been hurt or whatever? Because they don't know. They've just been cut off, and it's going to be driving him mad, isn't it? What they might be thinking. So, yeah, like I say, if he's definitely.
It's the form of 2025 tech. Like, I wouldn't agree with this happening to anyone. It's a form of 2025 like technological torture, Black Mirror stuff.
Well, it's all part of the plan, isn't it? And they're sort of doing it on the Chinese model. This is how the people over there are so controlled, like robots. I mean, they've got them, haven't they, on all the rules.
Well, I don't know about that, because I was on the Red Note app, and I genuinely believe we may have been a bit misled, because when I was on the Red Note app, it wasn't like that. And funnily enough, they call a certain country with a president with blonde
What
hair.
you, yeah, but what you see,
Third world in a Gucci belt.
but what you see in the West isn't what they show you in China, because they've got two different platforms, and like the cancel culture
Well,
and
go
the
on the
ghost,
people go on
ghosting
the
and all
Red
the
Note
rest
app
of it,
and
you're not
see
even
for
shown through.
yourselves. Red
again?
Note.
Red Note, no, never heard of it.
That's what I'm talking about. We'll go and have a look. It's like Pinterest. Just go and have a look. See for yourself. I'm not going to sway your votes this way, that way.
Where does it come from? China, or is it a Western thing?
It's their version of Pinterest, because they're not allowed TikTok. So that's
Who's
their
not
version
allowed
of TikTok.
Who's
Not that one, because it's poisonous.
Yeah, but China
and
invented
very
TikTok.
toxic.
Yeah, but China
Toxic
invented
talk.
TikTok, and it's called something else. And the only way they released it to the West was by calling it TikTok. It's
Well,
still
go
the
on Red
same.
Note. That's I'm just saying. Go there.
Mm.
People go there yourself. I got some banging recipes from healthy things and that. Go there yourself. Learn Mandarin.
I did learn a few words of Mandarin. I was going to go down the Japanese.
Some people ask for lessons in English and they'll give you lessons in Mandarin and things like that.
I think I tried it with a Japanese once, but it never developed. But yeah. So has anyone else got anything to say on mental health, or anything we haven't covered yet? No takers.
No.
We talked actually, you guys were on about social anxiety. Like I have that, the idea of going to big crowded places. I mean, even just going in Sainsbury's when it's busy can do my nut in, to be honest with you.
I still hate that.
And you know, I know loads of coping mechanisms, but I think maybe I just haven't applied the learning like what I have with other things, you know. So
I will never be able. We went to the Humble Crumble the other week, and the queue was an hour and a half long, and I was like, "Fun that, mate! I don't give a shit." We was not. And also I had my dog with me. I thought I'm gonna have to hold her for an hour and a half. I can't do it. I physically, mentally can't do it. So I had a pizza and
What is the Humble Crumble?
It's a crap. I will go there I'll go there another time and I'll book a table or something. So it's just like basic. So you get the pot and you get to choose your fruit or whatever, and then you get the crumble and the custard, and it just looks so banging. But yeah, I can't queue up an hour and a half for a cake, because by the time I got there, I'd have been like, so I just couldn't do it. But I had a very nice
that's
time
another
anyway.
thing. That's another huge thing of ADHD is impatience. It's a massive thing.
I can't stand. Also, I can't stand up for an hour and a half queuing for that. It just takes all the fun out of it. I'd rather come at set time.
Yeah, I can't.
Tell
I
me
can't
set time
stand
and I'll turn up.
I can't do long queues. I'm way too impatient for long.
That's why I don't want the theme parks. I can't stand in a queue for 2 hours. Actually, I don't bother. Like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if it's easier for you to manage your, does it come under your mental health? I suppose it does, all the queues and it's the same as like at the theme parks, isn't it? Where you can book.
It does. It's even.
I just won't go. If it's going to upset me, I'm not going.
It's the same with.
It's my problem.
It's the same. It's the same with driving. They say, in a traffic jam, you're more likely to be extremely stressed out, and irritable than someone without it.
Oh, so it would make red mist more likely.
Especially at certain times of the month.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's the hormonal balance thing, isn't it? Yeah.
And of course, I smoke as well. So of course, when I'm stressed, I just want to.
So this
if
is
I'm
a
in
bit
a traffic
about...
jam, I smoke like a chimney.
So also, I just want to say to people, ADHD is not just a mental condition, because actually, there is a lot of comorbid conditions that come along with it that affect you physically. For instance, if you're a woman, you are much more likely to have PCOS. You're much more likely to have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which I have myself, which are my fingers, my toes.
Those of you that don't know that, you might have to explain these syndromes.
Sorry, and also you're much more likely to have Ehlers-Danlos, fibromyalgia, which is a condition which can affect makes your whole body ache, I believe, and all your nerves. When you have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, there's lots of different symptoms, and you'd have to look it up because there's ways, but you're much more flexible and easy, like your bones and it affects your. If you sit there like sometimes my thumb will just completely click out. So you're much more susceptible to have comorbid conditions, and there is quite a lot of them. Once again, people, I'm not a doctor, I'm just a ADHD avid enthusiast of research, but please go and have a look. But there are a lot more comorbid conditions you can get because you're neurodivergent, which do affect you physically. And once again, not enough research, not enough help, an absolute struggle to get diagnosed. Even when you are diagnosed with ADHD and you've got all the symptoms and everything, they kind of look at you like, well, we can't even help you. There's no help after. Painkillers, that's it.
Yeah, drugs. Comorbid. Morbid means death, doesn't it?
Yeah, comorbid. So it lives alongside comorbid.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Good word. Good word.
Is this a comfortable time to play that magnificent music of this channel so that I can quickly nip to the blue as well?
Do you know what my favourite is?
I was going to say the same
Walking
thing, to
along
be
with
honest.
the yes. That's
Yeah, let's have a 2 minute
My favourite bit.
second break. I'll play my new channel song, everybody, and we'll be back in 2 minutes. Call it 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can go and have a toilet break. Make a
Yeah,
cup of tea.
I need a toilet break.
Where is that?
Mhm.
There we go.
I am One Generation Media, and this is my media. One Gen Media, walking the streets with a yes of the UK, the courage of the UK, pushing my cam to the limits. I'm standing right here in a crowd, or in London town. One Gen Media, walking the streets with a yes. Keeping the faith in a crowded place. Gotta realize all the MSM realize. No mics in faces, I'm standing right here, ready with questions, give me your answers. One Generation Media, first generation of true media, needed everywhere with my real life. No one feeding me lies, talking points are nothing for a self-made journal. I'm your YouTube, you know it's pretty sick. Gotta realize all the MSN realize, bringing you the news that the legacy refuse. One Generation Media, first generation of true media, needed everywhere with my real eyes. First person view, reporting of current affairs. I am One Generation Media, and this is my media. One Gen Media, walking the streets with a yes, holding a mic to the voiceless, shining a light on the silencers, keeping our speech free in the UK. I am One Generation Media, and they use us as cogs in a wheel that they can't live without. Imagine if it all stopped spinning, gotta find a way to unite, gotta keep up the fight. I am One Generation Media, and I am One Generation Media, and I am One Generation Media, and this is my media. Yeah, this is my media.
Ooh. Look at that.
Hello.
How did you find that? It's quite catchy, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
we have a
love
new
it.
guest as well. Lady Diana's come to say hello to everyone.
Hello, Lady Di.
She would have not
Lady
been-
Di, I love you, darling.
Lady
Oh my
Diana,
God.
what? Hello, peasants. Hello, peasants.
She's gorgeous.
She's a good girl. She's been without. She was squeaking outside the door, so I was like, "Come on, then, come on." She's in season at the moment, so
Oh, bless her.
she's a bit. She just wants food all day long.
All day long.
She can't. Yeah, she's like squeaking. She thinks she can play us all. She's been playing everyone all week, trying to get double dinners, triple dinners.
Are we back?
I've
We're
been,
back.
I've been having to give Renton the odd elbow just to stop him snoring. He's flaked out at the minute, so I've got that same issue, which is good. But yeah, no, the song's good. I say everyone seems to like the song. Lieutenant.
I think it's brilliant. Yeah.
I say Lieutenant's your girl because what you'll do is give her the words, tell her how you want it to sound, and she like that. She'll make it happen.
Usually, I'm very critiquey. Like anything I see wrong, I say it. I'm like, no, this don't work.
Yeah,
But
well,
no, I can't fault it, to be honest.
You know, I say it was good fun. Wasn't it, Lieutenant? We started off with 18, then I had to narrow it down to 5, and then I changed a few words, and then Lieutenant remastered it, and then we added in some extra drum noise and stuff, and
Yeah.
voila.
Yeah, we got the balances correct and everything like that. Yeah, short
It's
listen,
catchy as
short
well.
listen,
Such a
short
catchy
listen.
tune.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
I think you should do a clip that the clip the other day when you said to that person, you was like, "Do you want to hear have you heard my song yet?" And then they said something rude back. You went, "Well, you're going to hear it now." Boom.
Oh.
I think you should do a short with like the first 15 seconds after that.
I don't know if CP's still in the chat, but she was here earlier. Yeah, that was
Oh,
good.
CP, honestly, I just want to say the other day, I will never ever forget. That's what.
Was it quite a entertaining day? Was it?
Eventful,
It was.
unforgettable. What the hell, Yante?
I was going to say, like and subscribe to Lieutenant's channel because there may be future. You can talk about it if you want, Lieutenant. Future chances.
Oh yeah. I'll put the link in the private chat because I can't post links with me not being a mod or anything. So you guys can do that for us. Where is it? From a YouTube channel.
Is Lisa Sargent still here? She can post links, I think.
She's not in the private chat in here though, is she?
Not sure if she's still here. She is a moderator in the chat, normal chat. I have to sort that all out. I may just set up my laptop, so once I can get on that and fiddle about with all the
I'll see if I can post it. I should be able to post it because you gave me mod. So.
Because I can't post links in your live chat in YouTube. So that'd be cool.
I think Stephen can do it.
Yeah, he's done that. That's great. So anyone can click on that. I've only got 6 videos in there, I think, at the minute in a short. So, that's what I've got. But I am considering starting up live streaming maybe 1 or 2 nights a week of just an hour or 2, just for general chit chat, like no major topics or anything like that. But anyone that I've met through being on YouTube, through supporting the Big Nose of London and all of that, are welcome to come and just have a natter. And I might play some of the music that I make, whether they're disasters or not. But going back to One Generation Media's song, I do appreciate the feedback from you all. Like I watched all of your reactions when he first played it a couple of weeks ago, and that was brilliant to see your reactions, like honest, unfiltered. And I appreciate it. Like, whether you like it or you don't, just let me know. Just be kind about whether you like it or not.
I'm very happy with it. I say it's pretty much
he was
exactly
playing it walking around London. It was
obsessed with himself now, isn't he?
walking around with the yes.
He loves
it. Yeah, I was singing it, wasn't I, on Hyde Park Road or something, wherever we were.
Good. It's the way to get people to know your channel. That's your theme song now, isn't it? So.
Well, it definitely works. I say it's exactly
you need to get
how
T-shirts made with yes on them.
Say again?
You need to get merch with yes on it.
Yeah, that's coming. I'm sure it's in the pipeline. Once I sort out my YouTube shop for
you need to put it on your YouTube homepage as your intro. So when someone clicks on your page, that's the first thing that starts playing. Whereas at the moment you haven't got anything on there.
That's what I can do on the laptop. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that over this week. It's all planned. As soon as I get a bit of time, that's what I plan to do. There was other things as well that it asked me for. Anyway, I'm going to hopefully be able to get on with that now. So hopefully.
I see your video's gone up another couple of thousand views. I guess there's people coming from work now as well. It's going to keep rising.
Oh, that's just what you see on YouTube. I can see the real figures on YouTube Studio. What's it on now, from what you can see?
15,000.
Yeah, the last time I looked at 2:00 this afternoon, it was on 17 something. So it probably needs to update or something.
Big player now.
Oh, Lisa's back now. Lisa Sargent, it's up to you, Lieutenant. I think she's interested in hearing your songs and your live chats.
Nice
Thank you.
one.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I just said thank you. So, I've gained 2.
Oh yeah, you gained me as well.
Same to you, Steve.
Excellent.
Oh yes, I'll give you a follow as soon as this is. I can't do it now.
That's all right.
Thank you. Thank
the
you for
videos-
subbing to me too, Lisa.
I'm more on the Clock app or the Book of the Face if you want to find. And I'm on X as well. Same name everywhere. Zen Marty. Come find me.
Now,
Come find
now
my
Lisa's
mum.
sub to me. I'll be chasing her as a mod as well.
But
Follow
you're
my
gonna have
mum,
to-
everyone.
Yeah.
you're going to have to improve your YouTube channels then as well, because no doubt that's going to get popular as well if you keep on the way you're going.
Well, this is it. I mean, most of my content, is done at events, live streaming or whatever from now on. So it's just getting to the events. The more I can get to, the more I'll, have them up on my channel. But otherwise, yeah, just a few news stories here and there that I do when I feel creative.
Thank you. Yeah, no, so I'm really happy about the video taking off today, because it got me over the 1,000 subscribers mark, which I didn't expect.
Well,
My
yeah,
target
this is
for
it.
that was Manchester.
You should get a couple of thousand watch hours for it as well.
You say this every
Yeah.
time. You say
No,
this
'cause
every
my-
time,
my-
mate, with about 200.
Yeah, no, you will, because my Piers Morgan one that I did, I had 13,000 views on that, and that was about 10 minutes long, and that got me about 1,200 watch hours.
That was about half an hour long, that video. I remember.
No, it wasn't. It was only about 10
I
minutes.
thought it was.
Leave it playing at night time on your phone.
But that's it, isn't it, everybody? I'm not monetized, so there's no adverts. Just watch it through. Leave it on when you're asleep. I might load up my song separately in case anybody just wants to listen to it and play it, in their own time. Because I say I've got a lot of feedback from the song. A lot of people like it, and from a lot of different age groups as well. Even friends of mine that I didn't think would like it. So far so good, Lieutenant. I think you found your new niche, helping people make channel songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do
To be
one
honest-
last freebie, and that's for Stephen. After that, I'm gonna have to start charging for the milk.
Well, this is
jar.
it. No, I mean,
Yeah,
you
it's
would. Because it's like with anything, you're learning how to do it, and once you've learned how to do it and you start getting good at it, then you can start charging. People will pay. Once they see that you're releasing good quality stuff, people start paying for it. So you could make a business out of it.
Yeah, I mean, and you guys are my guinea pigs, and what will be used in my
Yeah.
portfolio. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've made some
Yeah.
songs for the Big Nose of London. I made this one for Dave, and if I make one for you, well, then that's at least 3 or 4 songs that I could showcase that
Yeah.
are channel related, sort of thing. Yeah, and see where it goes. But I'm a long way off developing a plan and making it into a business, so. I don't want to be inundated, so don't like.
No, but
promote
it's something to think of for the future. Like, it could happen, obviously. Like with anything, people start hobbies that they do at home and stuff, and they turn them into businesses because they get good at it. And
I'm already thinking that with regards to making music itself, just to listen to, like the songs that you'll have heard being played on the Big Nose of London, the ones that I did that are more reggae oriented. I've done them in kind of Ibiza 90s club styles, and I've started extending them to like 5-6 minute long, and they're starting to sound like you could put them all together and have a set. So I'm going down that road. So I'm starting to think I could put these on Spotify or something, or SoundCloud.
well,
Yes,
there's
Spotify for sure.
it's like that. There's that site called Fiverr, and people used to go there for all sorts. If someone wanted a logo made for their channel, they go on there, pay them. Well, it used to be a Fiverr, but you can pay more for better ones, just to get a logo. So people list those kind of services on there. Voiceovers as well, like you can pay for a professional voiceover and stuff like that. So you could put something on a site like Fiverr, for channel songs, and people just
You just lip
Yeah.
sync nowadays, don't you? Instead of finding people with voiceovers, Jen.
Well, that's it.
No,
It's,
you can text to speak and choose loads of different voices now.
Yeah,
I
but
paid
it's actually
on there
still
once.
a growing thing for humans to be called upon for voiceovers, because that's something that I'm actually wanting to go into. Like, I'm setting myself up with the equipment at the minute,
Mm.
and I'm looking out for a decent training course, and so that I can get some practice in. But that's a self-employment thing. But apparently, it's very lucrative, and it's always growing, regardless of AI. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, well, that's it. You just want to better yourself with stuff like that if you're interested in it. So I applied for college a couple of days ago to for creative industries, which is like leading up to a higher education diploma and that in the likes of film, TV, journalism, and stuff like that. So if I get on the course and I do it, I'll improve there. Video editing,
that sounds pretty
photography.
exciting.
Yeah, good. That's
Mm.
good.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
felt because obviously, if I want to do this properly, which I am, I'm going to need to get better at it because my editing, I can only edit basic stuff really, but I want it.
Is
to
that
be
sorry?
good
Is that a
stuff,
work from home course or college?
No, actual college, but it'll be like maybe 1 or 2 days a week. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. Usually they have evening classes as well, so you can still work in the day and then go and do your learning in the evening.
Yeah,
So I've been to college before, evening classes for stuff to learn.
That's these big channels for you, like RBM. They're heading up for the 2Cs of this world.
Well, that's the view, isn't it? You've got to have that kind of outlook to sort of aim towards. I mean, that's it, and that's the aim. So, but to do that, you need to be really good at all the other stuff because unless you can pay someone else to do it, which I can't, you got to do it yourself. So, yeah.
Zen, you
so
still
learn
with
it.
us, or have you frozen?
No,
Yes, I'll go
I'm just chilling with the dog. That's the thing, ADHD thing. Before I was swinging like this, but I'm chilling with the dog, so I'm calm now.
I just
Come
thought you
on,
put us on a
tranquil,
loop
my little
and gone and got your
sausage.
hair done or something.
Pardon?
I thought you'd put us on a loop and then gone and got your hair done.
Do you know what? I don't want to grass one of my kids up, but over COVID, that little sod did a couple of like loops of a second of her looking up and down. And the teeth, yeah, she was off playing a freaking game outside in the garden and left. I thought it was quite clever, to be honest. It showed very good IT skills.
I'm looking forward to.
Ingenuity. And plus, she was outside, like learning about nature, so doing loom bands, arts and crafts, and nature, and PE.
Well, it was during the big C, so we'll let you off.
Plus, she's studying to be a paramedic now. I've got A stars on the A levels, so you know.
Well done. We need more
Nice.
paramedics in this world.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to Manchester. It's only 10 days away now, wasn't it? I need
10 days,
action.
bloody
It's
hell.
like I've been,
Coming up
it's
quick.
been too long since the last event or, protest. So I'm looking forward to Manchester because, after
It's
a couple
definitely
of
going
weeks
to be
of
an
not going to any,
exciting one.
I'm getting,
Usually get a lot
yeah.
of opposition up in the Manchester ones, don't they? So,
with the lefty, you're going to be like all over the place up there. Like it's going to be terrible. But I think Nick Tinconi's going to be there anyway, so he'll be able to bat him away.
yeah, no, he's going to be there. That's right. Armour of God, Shield of Faith.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Oh, I told you I've seen him on the Clock app recently, and then I saw in one of your videos it said bun the Clock app basically because they do, but he's on there, so that's good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah,
His number one fan, saying that I'm Liam Tuff's number one fan. You're his number one fan. Yeah.
It was,
Who's number one fan?
It was the UKIP party that got banned from the Clock app, TikTok. Not his
Oh,
own
you can't
personal
say it, you
account,
can't
as far as
say
I
it.
know. Which is odd. I don't know why they'd want to ban a political party and a democratised political party at that. Let's face it, reform and integrity still aren't democratised. So why would they ban a democratised British political party? Is beyond me. This is why I don't really favour
Mirror.
TikTok.
But it was quite sad that you didn't get your photo with Liam Zen. You had the opportunity to finally get
He
your photo
wasn't in
taken
a
with
good.
him.
Oh my! Can you believe the bit that you put up in the video?
CP reports ran up when you were doing your shy thing on camera.
Oi, listen, we say
Right.
something. If you go and watch my
CP
video,
ran up and got a photo with him at that moment. And I was
CP
like, well,
tripped
there you
ass
go.
over tit over her own freaking tripod trying to get that picture. I've got the footage of it on my video. But no, he was trying to. Look, if you've just been through something, he's pissed off and that. And also, I don't mean to be rude, but I don't really go up to men. That's the thing.
But no, I
I
mean,
would never in my life. Imagine if I went up and said, "Can I have a photo?" And they were like, "No." Oh, I'd never recover. Please crash out. So no. So listen, and also it was listen. I'm very like energy sensitive. Like if I sense things aren't the right time, it's not the right time. There'll be other times, and if there
Yeah.
not that's fate. Who you know?
To
But I'm
me,
not,
to be fair, it's like someone said in your comments on your video, David, that yeah, they said maybe Liam Tufts couldn't speak because they might restrict his access
then
to
also
Tommy,
his
and that
best
could be
mate's
it.
just
Yeah,
been effed over
because
again.
he
All right,
needs,
can we have a
Yeah,
picture?
like-
Yeah,
No, it's not my style.
I can understand
Yeah.
why he's done it if he's fearful of getting banned or not having a prison visit or something. So I don't
This is
hold
it, 'cause at the-
against
yeah.
him. It's,
Because at the
it's
moment
not
his
that bad.
visits are still allowed, and being, I suppose, Tommy, one of
And
Tommy's
also,
best
if he
mates,
was
he needs
upset
him,
and
doesn't he? So
frustrated, yeah, and he's
I
just
guess he
come out
can't
of
take
court,
any
he's obviously
risk.
like he's obviously going to want to go and talk about it, and like, and the situation. Imagine, like, I just imagine that it's quite a sad situation. And here's me, hi, can I have a selfie? Like, it's just really not.
Well,
I
when
just,
you're as
oh
big,
no, it's
when you're
not
as
for
big a
me,
channel
man.
as
No,
him,
no.
you have to expect this kind of attention, I suppose.
Yeah, no, it's
especially
not.
on
Yes, but
Facebook,
also you've
so-
got to expect. I'm a human. We're still human. Imagine if I've had people come up to me before, and it's clearly inappropriate. I'm with my freaking children. Like, not like you got to
Yeah.
treat people how you want to be treated, and I wouldn't want to be treated like that. So I'm not going to treat people like that. And that is what. And just because I'm autistic ADHD doesn't mean I get the right to bulldoze through people's emotions. You know.
No,
Yeah,
I
no,
get that.
Everyone
So I
deserves
used to chase. I used to be an autograph hunter. So if I saw a celeb, I was like, oh, got to get an autograph. Got to get an autograph. And but if ever I saw one with their kids or something, I wouldn't.
But also, that's something. It's a bit. It wasn't a happy
So.
day. It wasn't a celebrate. You know what I mean? It was. He probably, So you got to pick. There's a time and a place for everything, and
I
for me,
understand.
it wasn't the time
I
and the
do
place.
understand, and like I say, like my song says, no mics in faces. I'm ready with questions. Give me your answers. But on the other hand, he does promote a lot of the time independent journalists, covering the story and keeping it out there, which you've done at the United Kingdom marches.
Yeah, but I don't
with me
listen. I'm not. There's one thing
before,
I'm not is a beg friend
so
or a
it could have
freaking
been that.
pest, mate. And I listen. Everyone can do what they want to do. If I feel the energy's off, like if the energy, like not from him, I'm just talking about the situation. It wasn't like a
Yeah, I
happy
get that.
day.
Yeah.
So let me, it's just the way it is. I wouldn't have been happy with myself if I took a picture. It's just a bit like, imagine asking for someone a selfie at a funeral. So it's just not. It's just a bit crass for me.
Yeah.
I just want to say hi to Joan Rooney. Thank you for joining us. Please like and share if you haven't done so already. Yeah, we have been going for a while, so we're just generally chatting now, really more off the.
Have you got anything you want to say, Lady Diana? So I want my treats. It's time for treats. Do you want a treat now? Yeah. I think she wants to go out for a walk.
I say going back to Tufts. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't ever force things on people. If they want to come and talk to me, they can talk to me. I just thought being an independent, and then wanting to obviously keep it in the public eye, that he may have said a few words, but I fully respect how he said it, and I like the way he kind of.
He'll go and say it on his show though, won't he?
Avoided answering the question as well. Hence my poker talk. So Liam, if you're watching, hook us up and we'll have a poker game. that'd be fun. Yeah, that was good.
Get on the dozen show, have a poker game on that table.
I could play Skip-Bo if you play Skip-Bo, but I'm not playing. What are you going to play for real money or
What is the
matches?
poker reference anyway? Why the poker reference?
You see the way he didn't answer the question. So I always ask open-ended questions, so it doesn't give you an option to say yes or no. And he got around it twice. I was like, yeah, very good. I was like, poker. Mind
When you look
games.
when you look the player in the eye and say, "Have you made that hand? Have you got that flush?"
Yeah, I just think that it'll be good that what's the word you used to use, Stephen, in poker? Acting, acting when you're strong. When you're weak. So yeah, it'll be interesting. One day, I'm sure it'll happen. One day. How about you, Lieutenant? Can you play poker?
No. I've never tried. I don't know the rules, anything about it.
Well, every poker match needs a dealer, so we can always have you there as a dealer.
So I get the job.
I like to call myself a semi-professional poker player because I tried training to go pro and it never worked.
Yeah, maybe about 10 years ago, bro. Who won the?
No,
the
I've still got my skills. Plus, I studied the.
Who won the Micro Millions?
The micro millions.
That's so
I
funny.
studied the psychology as well of poker tells. So yeah,
I learned to play poker from the Pirates of the Caribbean game on the Wii because you had to win the poker game to get on the next level. So I had to, and I was playing it with like the leaflet, telling me all the hands and stuff. But I got it's all right. I really like playing Skipbo, which is a card game where you use 3 decks of cards, and I'm Skipbo champion. So if anyone wants to play that
I'm
online,
glad you
I'm very
explained
good.
that, because when you first said Skipbo, I thought you meant something with a skipping rope.
It's called
I was like,
also some other people on the phone. If you look at the app, it's called Spite and Malice. But it's called Skipbo or Spite and Malice. It uses 3 decks of cards, and it's a game of extreme skill. So
Well, so is poker.
I am a champion.
Anyone remember what the percentage of luck is in poker? I do.
I haven't a clue about poker at all.
33% is luck. The rest is
33.
skill, isn't it?
20 years since the Wii next year. I've still got mine hooked up, mate. I don't give it. That's my favourite. Where if you've got ADHD, I don't want to be sitting in the same position for ages playing the game. I want to be moving around.
The Wii, what's that? That was Nintendo, wasn't it? Nintendo.
Yeah,
Wii?
and also I've got on the Xbox, got the old Xbox there. When I do things with my hands, science fiction like.
I've still got all my old consoles, well, a lot of my old consoles. But I'm actually thinking of trading them all in now.
But all the games now, like
I just
put my
on.
I just put my picture on your StreamYard from when I was all dressed up for my sponsored poker tournament. When I was looking like the. Speaking about,
Where is it? As a guest?
Yeah, it should be down there at the bottom somewhere.
I think I got it. Is that
Yes, there it is. Yeah. when I was represented by the Hendon mob.
Yeah, in my garden as well. I recognise that.
That's it. that was me off to my first professional tournament in all the gear.
See.
Right, how do I take it off?
You can't see it.
No. And I've got the comments on.
On the main picture
really?
of us, the screen with all of us. If you go off.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm on the screen with all of us. I can't see it.
It's the biggest.
So-
I was in shape back then as well, to be honest.
Oh, you'll have to send it to me after.
Right. Let me work out how to take it
I'm
off.
gonna go and get some chicken. Yeah. Someone wants their dinner soon and a walk, so I'm gonna have to go. Sorry, people.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up soon, because I know you've got your
An exclusive RBM
I've
photo.
got to get my hair done as well, dear. No more roots, darling. I'm gonna be purple, blonde, and pink tomorrow.
Oh, lovely. I do like a colour splash.
And I'm gonna have. And on Saturday, everyone's gonna ask me, "Is that wig? Is that wig? Is that wig? Is that wig?"
No, it's castor oil.
I thought it was at first, actually, when I first saw it.
So I said, listen, if people think it's a wig, it's a compliment. So.
It's probably because they could spot the grey roots coming through from underneath.
Grey roots. No, if they thought it was a wig, listen, don't start, Linda. If you start going bald, then it's game over, because I'm going to start taking a piss out of that. If I spot any little bald patches, woo! I know.
Fortunately, I got the full head of hair at the moment, but the greys are sort of coming around here. It won't be too long before it's hitting my head as well.
That sounds good. Anything else you want to say, Lieutenant?
Yeah, it's just been nice to sit and chat. Actually, I don't know how long it is since I've been in StreamYard having a chat with people, but about 5-6 weeks or something.
Yeah,
It's nice just to have a chat
You have
sometimes.
been missing in action for a while, haven't you?
Yeah,
Everyone
and
needs
it looks as though
breaks, I guess.
it looks as though I'm not going to be going back to where I was either. I've been well and truly booted.
I'm sure you'll get back there eventually. I have a knack of bringing people together.
Oh, here we go. Well, it'll be a miracle because I don't even know why I'm not there, to be honest with you. But there you go.
So 20 years since the Wii. Is that the Wii console? That comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got the Oculus, the MetaQuest. I haven't got the newest one. I got the last one, but that's really so realistic. Some of it, like I said, I started using the boxing game on it, and it's crazy. You know.
I don't know if I trust it with your eyesight though. I mean, it's bound to cause future problems, surely.
My
Well, no,
front
this
room's
is it,
not
because,
that big, to be
like,
honest. I don't know.
But this is it. I used to be able to sit here and read text on my phone just fine. Then after playing on that VR for like a week, I mean, I started going. I couldn't read text anymore. I need glasses to like read up close. I went to the optician and I mentioned it to them, and they said no. It says there's no history of that ever having an effect. It shouldn't have any effect.
Yeah.
So
They probably don't want to get
I
sued.
think maybe it's just coincidence, but I'm sure the optician would have said, yeah, there's been reported cases of Oculus messing with your vision.
Not a chance in hell would they
If it makes
say
money,
that.
if it makes money, they're not going to bloody well give the health risks. That's one thing I've learned. You see, years ago we used to have the BSA, the British Standards Agency. We never used to get stuff that blew up and burst into flames and was built cheaply because we had standards. But the last 10 years or so, we've been flooded, haven't we, by all sorts of different Asian stuff, and it's just breaks, dangerous. You know, nothing comes with BSA, British safety standards anymore.
I thought you had to be sold in England.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it hasn't. If you look at your plugs now and you look at all these things you buy, it doesn't have it. A lot of things don't have it anymore. So
Lisa said nice cat earlier. This is the second one.
Oh,
This is
the other one's cream, isn't it?
is that not?
This is yeah.
Look at those green eyes.
Oh, she's.
Gorgeous.
She said, "No cameras, no cameras."
She just.
Steve, go and get the floppy one.
She's recovering.
Where's the
Too
floppy?
special for StreamYard, you see.
Gee.
Oh, they're
She's
gorgeous.
resting at the moment up there.
They've changed Streamlabs now, so you have to.
My cat's just nicked off. She's getting thinner and weaker as the days go by. She's on her way out. Like she's, yeah. I'm so gonna miss her, but I'm just making her as comfortable as possible for however long it's. She's around until she goes. Do you know what I mean? But honestly, they're absolute loves to have around. Cats and dogs. Sorry,
mine are still.
Sorry, Princess Diana, but cats and dogs.
Yeah, mine are still relatively young. I suppose the one there that I just showed, she's 3.5. And the fluffy one over there, she's 1 year and 2 months now. That's actually the daughter of the one I just showed.
Oh my gosh! From here, she looks bigger as well. I can see her on the platform behind you.
Guys that save our children. I was like, oh,
Bring
hello,
her over,
Joan.
Stephen. Let's have a close up.
Well, she
Lady
twigged her
Diana's
ear
4 years
there.
old.
If she comes.
She's still a spring chicken. She's 4. Da, 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 da. Spring chicken. Little
Darling.
rotund sausage. Aren't you a little chunky monkey? Whee.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's true, Lisa. Like cats can help with your mental health. Apparently, the purring of a cat, the decibels or whatever that's in the purr, help calm you down.
I like
and stuff
cat.
like that.
I like little dogs
But,
and cat. It depends if you've
yeah,
got
they're
a big enough
calming as well.
space or you work a lot. But honestly, I can't live without a little dog. I've had Chihuahua, Jack Russell, sausage dog,
Hi, Joan.
Jackawawa.
Yeah.
You're right what you were saying there, Steve, though, about the cat's purring. It is very soothing, very calm, and it can bring my anxiety down. Like when stuff's going on with me and I'm through the roof, she can just be there, and I just go to stroke her, and next thing you know, she's purring, and whatever I was going off it with myself about, it's just gone. So soothing for you. Yeah.
Somebody around the corner had a sensory dog. You get sensory animals now, don't you, for mental health and stuff like that?
Yes, she's my emotional support sausage.
Unless they're, but they can make you stressed as well when they're wrecking the place. Like I came in the room the other day and my earbud case had come off of my desk onto the floor, and I couldn't find my earbuds. So the cat had opened them up, and my earbuds had gone missing because they were playing with them somewhere. But luckily, I found out that you can go on to find my earbuds and make them buzz. So I was able to find them, and they were behind the sofa. So
at least
I
you
them under there, and
I just want to say, while Joan put this comment up, there is another march coming up for Save the Children. It's going to be the second one. We are going to do a video on it. I say, we are going to do a video on it because it's such an important cause. We need to get this movement growing as well. So stay updated for any of you that have joined late.
Which old dear was you? I think because I remember meeting an old dear.
John
the lady.
That's a lovely message.
I think he was with a lady that had sort of red highlights in her hair. I think that might be the one. But
red highlights, Joan, was that you? I say, we will do an update.
No, with someone with red highlights.
I think I forget the actual date now. Is it the 27th of May? I could be wrong. I don't know where I plucked that from, but there is definitely another one now that's been arranged for Save the Children. Zen, I think you should come along to it as well.
That's the
What
one in
date is
Manchester,
it?
isn't it? Oh yeah, June. Hang on, I've got the
I'll
date.
find
here
out.
somewhere.
Maybe Steve.
I'll have
can
to see
find
because
it.
It's gone.
I've got
It's
birthday
gone
at the
straight
end
in
of
my
May.
calendar.
and I've
I
got a
put them straight
birthday
in my
at the
calendar
beginning of
now, so I
June.
know to cancel any plans to make sure.
It's
I
such a
go
busy
to
time of year now for protests and things. Weather's nice.
So
They're all over London.
June.
Everywhere
That's
you
June the
turn,
28th.
protest.
June the
London.
28th, then put it in your calendar. And you,
Yeah,
Lieutenant,
June the
if you can
28th.
make it.
Yeah.
I'll
So
watch
going to the
via
Manchester
live
one,
stream.
going
I'll
to
watch
that
you
one as well.
guys on your live stream out there.
Excellent stuff. Beetlejuice,
Well,
love
we'll probably be live streaming at the same time, so it'll be hard to watch both. So
that.
you'll have to choose one.
He's
No,
making
no,
it
You'll have
I've
to
easy.
got
choose the
two.
Oh no,
you'll have
it
to
feels
choose the
I'm
better
the one on
quality.
the laptop and one on my phone. double
I've
bubble.
got two devices, so I'll watch his both. He's both watching hours that you need. So
Double whammy.
then it means
Well,
I
I
can
tried
chat with
going-
more people.
I tried going live at the Save the Children event, and I watched it back, and you could barely view it. It was awful. So straight away, I was like, I can't be dealing with that. So I ordered the latest iPhone on a contract, and then got the best internet. Because I was like, no, I got to make this good. You know, that's the problem with me. Is if I see the slightest bit of bad detail, and it's like, I got to fix it. I can't have that. So
And for
You're
me,
probably
it's
right.
Perfectionism.
A
Yeah.
lot of people do prefer it, don't they, when it's bigger. But me, I'm treating this like a business, so
it's a bit of
building
a
it up
curse.
gradually.
Yeah, but then with me, the way I I looked at it is get all the gear early, and then you don't have to worry about it. So that was my way of thinking of it. So yeah, I put all of my money into everything, all my gear, and then now I don't have to worry about it no more. Just make content, and that's it.
I really
So,
enjoy the phone I use for live streaming because I don't really have many buffering issues like others do. It seems to be quite stable, but I do want to get a mic. So my next purchase is going to be the DJI mic, I think. Might as well just get it straight away, and then that should
Yeah.
solve a lot of my issues regarding hearing people.
That one's in London, Lisa. So they're going to be marching to Downing Street on that one for the children.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done.
Is that on a Saturday?
That should be, yeah.
Um,
I'll
I
just
think it will
double-check.
be, yeah. I mean, if you're on Facebook,
Yeah,
they've
Saturday.
got their own Facebook page. If you search for the children, it's a love heart, pink love heart symbol. And
Yeah.
I say jump on their group, try and share it to as many people as you can because I say it's growing. It was the first one that we attended last. I thought it was a good turnout considering there was a handful of people online that were sharing it, and getting it out there. So yeah, hopefully it will just grow and grow and grow. And
I
make
think
some
they were
noise.
quite disappointed, weren't they?
Yeah.
Even on stage, they were saying, "Oh, there should be more people out here than this." They were quite
Yeah,
disappointed.
no, they
but
should, and I think there
it
will be,
was-
but there was literally only a handful of
Yeah.
us promoting it, and I think when it gets
Yeah.
to the bigger channels,
That's the thing. It wasn't heavily promoted, and I think sometimes these big channels, like you got Paul and Maya and that, they should at least put a post out about an event like that, And when
I
they don't,
agree.
I think it's a bit wrong that they don't, and I don't know why they don't. But
I know.
I'll go straight to a conspiracy theory there, but I'm not going to say it because it's not worth it.
yeah.
We'll save that for
About
another night.
so some channels aren't what you think they are they? So
No,
Thanks,
I mean,
Lisa.
if I see anything March-wise that for anything that matters for the children, for the country, whatever, straight away I'm posting it on X, YouTube, and every week or whatever I post it again. It's like you have to get it out there and build the numbers.
yeah, I've just
Okay.
found them on Facebook. By the way, I've just joined them and shared it, so I'll get that going around.
Brilliant. Thanks,
Yeah.
Lisa, for putting that in the box because I say it's very big, important cause. This, and as you've seen before, it gets swept under the carpet each and every time, and we need more people. The more people that turn up, the world may take notice again, like they did with Tommy in the isolation, etc. Elon Musk, grooming gangs, all the rest of it. It's all interlinked, so it really needs to be promoted a bit better. And you're absolutely right. The bigger channels should have picked it up. But
Hey,
I'm going to end it
Giggles.
soon. I know. A lot of you are failing now. I can see what Zen wants to.
No,
get
because I've
her hair
got to take
done.
her out, and my dinner's ready and stuff. I've got to get my hair done, so I'm on a timer. But I can shoot off and say bye to everyone. You can wrap it up. So
Yeah, no, I've
say
got to
bye.
eat something as well. And get
Just
ready
want to
for
say
the big
hi,
match
hi,
tonight.
Giggles. Welcome to the live. You're definitely coming in at the later end of it. And to Joan,
Giggles, how are
you could hear.
Welcome,
Yeah,
Giggles.
Joan, you
Like,
could probably hear me on the last live stream because I sorted out all those issues now. Like I did a first test, and then checked the quality and the mic levels, and got all the stuff I needed to sort it out. So all the lives will be quite good from now on. Should have no issues. So
Yeah, and I'll say thanks for coming, Giggles. I say you can rewatch this on a replay, but we are going to wrap it up now, I think.
Yeah.
We covered most.
yeah,
of the things
thanks.
we
Yeah,
talked
thanks for
about.
everyone joining. It's been a good mix of discussing mental health conditions, and if anything, it helps people that have mental health conditions talking about them, getting things off their chest. We all
Yeah,
probably
it
feel a
might
little
be
bit
good
better
for
just from
them.
speaking about some of our
Sharing is
experiences.
caring. Sometimes.
And yeah, and then always nice just to chat, general chat as well. Have a laugh
Yeah,
and-
well
Well,
said,
thanks.
Steve. Sorry, just one last thing about mental health. There was a small victory today in the UK Supreme Court about the definition of a
Yes.
woman,
Yes, there was.
and I think
Oh.
that all spells mental health problems to me. The fact that we've had to go that far to find out what's in a dictionary. But there you go.
Yeah, I
It's
was
a
going
victory.
to
I mean, I
make a
think-
video on that.
I think Steve
Discussing
might do a live on that, mightn't you, Steve? You mentioned it earlier. Maybe pick up this again and that had the Supreme Court judgment and a few other bits and bobs.
I'll probably plan it for tomorrow night. Anything
Nice
like that.
one.
So I like how all the numbers are coming in now. It's always at the end, isn't it?
Always at the end.
Everyone comes in, I know.
So,
So yeah, people, you can follow me on here, the Clock app, the Facebook, the X. Come find me.
now we've been going quite a long time, haven't we? Really, nearly 2 hours.
Yeah, been an hour and 40 now, just gone. I
Yeah, she
mean,
said look, Lady Diana's like, enough. Enough now. You want all my attention.
Let's have a look.
She doesn't want to get down.
If
I enjoy
missed-
these lives more than the quiz, to be fair. So yeah.
No, I love the quiz too.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do enjoy the quizzes, but when it's getting to like quiz 6, quiz 7, it's like it's the same thing, the same quiz. So we need to change up these quizzes to something else,
Thank you,
pub
Giggles.
quiz or something.
No, the quizzes are brilliant. I get so much
No,
good feedback.
the Games Master slogan.
And you're wearing the crown this week, Steve. Come on.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm in a peasant hat.
that's true.
The peasant hat. I
I'm
noticed
Lady
somebody
Diana, I'm a
else.
peasant.
I noticed the big channel stole the crown idea the other day. Have a guess who it was?
Who?
I hadn't seen the crown image, the kind of crown image
Paul,
that I
probably.
use on this person's channel before, but then I noticed it the other day. I thought, I wonder if he got that from me.
Who?
Paul,
Woody.
Woody. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
was
That is.
surprised to see a crown on his what's that thing he does this week's Union Jackass, I think it was, that thing he does.
Well, Giggles, Friday, 8 p.m.
Because-
we do the quiz.
I say the
I'm
crown
right.
image
Yeah.
that he used was the one I was going to use before I found the one that I do use for Oz. But yeah.
Yeah, Fridays quizzes are usually Friday at 8 p.m. here on One Gen's channel. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
regular
Friday
fun.
at 8 o'clock.
Come
It's a
join
bit-
in. Get a
British,
drink if you drink. Woo.
There wasn't
Yeah,
one
get your
last
drinks in.
Friday because what were we doing last Friday? That was all
Court
Tommy,
case.
wasn't it? It was the court case. Yeah.
Court case,
So-
yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
Good
so
Friday
there was
this
no
Friday,
live.
isn't it?
Oh yeah, is it going to be happening this
Yes,
Friday? Because
it is.
I'm gonna be honest. I may be a little bit drunk.
Be drunk.
Just a little bit.
Excellent.
You might be.
Yeah, well,
you
me and
might
my
be in a
man have
peasant's
both
hat
got. We're
for
gonna have
2
the day
weeks
off
in a
on
row.
Friday and just chill. So by 8 p.m, God knows what state I'm going to be in, but it'll be interesting to find out.
Yeah.
It isn't this Friday that you're out, is it? It's Saturday that
No,
you're
we are.
out.
You're supposed to be coming out as well, so can you make
Maybe,
mine up, please?
maybe. I'll give you a last minute answer on that
Just-
one.
well, I've got to book tickets, so you got to let me know.
All right. Okay. Let me find. I'll find out in the next few hours and try and give you a more of
Yeah, if
a.
you're away, you're away. Obviously, you can't be in
Right.
2 places at once. But
Well, I'd like to be. Imagine. But yeah, no, excellent. Well, thanks a lot, Giggles. Hopefully, we'll see you on Friday for the quiz.
Yeah.
Anybody
Very
else? I think you'll be here, won't you, Lieutenant? You enjoy the quiz as well, don't you?
Yeah, I'll be in there being cheeky and showing how sick I am by getting the answers wrong.
Broadstairs. Broadstairs is a lovely area. I had a chance to move to Broadstairs, but I didn't go. But I used to go there quite a bit. Broadstairs is probably the best area in that neck of the woods.
Where is that?
Lisa?
Thank you. Live videos like Marty. Lol.
I'm trying to find it.
Thank you.
So I've got this silly bloody. Well, it's not silly, I suppose. They want to pay me $25 for every clip.
Okay.
But it's in the way. The stream.
Ken, I probably should have known that. I lived in Margate for a time when I was a kid, a long time ago.
That used
And I brought
think
it
it's all
lovely.
changed now,
And
isn't it?
the
Sorry.
last time I went there, they'd built a massive shopping centre area place with loads of shops that I got dragged around by an ex-girlfriend. So yeah,
Dragged around, please.
I'm sure it looks nice now.
Dragged around.
I've never been to Margate. It used to be quite a place for holidays in England, didn't it?
Yeah, Margate, Ramsgate. I've been to Margate. Was it Ramsgate? One or the other for a music festival.
They're all
It was like
pretty
a
much
different
near
world,
each
but I had a right laugh.
Yeah.
Eastbourne, Margate, Ramsgate, and then you go to the nicer side like Broadstairs, and I think it follows on to Brighton eventually, doesn't it? So, if you keep going down the coast, but
Isn't
yeah,
Brighton like woke capital outside of London?
Who?
Brighton, it's woke capital outside of London, isn't it?
I've never been to
Well,
Brighton, but I do want to go.
maybe.
I
I
went
love
probably.
Cambridge, and
Yeah.
I was there in '98 because I did the London to Brighton
When
mini
did we
run. I was
go?
working in Surrey at the time at a golf and country club, and one of the guys I was working with, he had a mini and did the London to Brighton mini run. So I just jumped in the car with him. It was mint.
Maybe
what's
that's where I've
that
met you
area
before,
that's not
Lieutenant.
Brighton?
I had to pick up a
What-
car from a place like that.
Where
in
is
the
it that
middle
we
of
go,
nowhere.
babe? Where is it we go away? It starts with B, not Brighton.
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. I love Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. That
Yeah.
used to be an OEP capital, didn't it?
Love the
Okay.
beach. Love it there.
Nick was
Yeah,
there the
it
other
looks
day.
beautiful down there. I've got family down that way, but I've never
I
been.
love Bournemouth so much.
I really
Well,
want to go to
nice.
Scotland and like North Wales. I've never been there. I've only
Going
been
to
to
Wales
South
soon.
Wales.
To
I
the
want to do
Breaking
North
Beacon.
Wales, yeah. Snowdon.
Try the
Well,
Western
we could do in a
Highlands.
few weeks.
Steve, try the Western Highlands. I recommend the Western Highlands of Scotland. It's absolutely fantastic. I've lived up there a couple of times. It's beautiful.
Do I have to
All
get a
weather.
bit fitter
Is that
before I
near
go there
Fort-
though?
Oh, Fort William, Lieutenant, is it?
I've lived in Fort William and I've lived 45 minutes in the car west of that towards Malig, where you get the sky over to the ferry over to the Isle of Skye, a place not just before Arasig I lived in, but honestly, like the mountains, the beaches, all of that around that part of the UK are fantastic. Like white
imagine.
sands and things like that. Some places, it's amazing.
I'd love to do it. Never gone to Scotland.
Giggle,
So we
Giggle said
definitely
she's
wanna
in
do
Northern
that.
Ireland at the minute. There's a place in Northern Ireland I want to go to where they've got squeaky sand. Have you heard about that? You walk on it and it
Squeaky
squeaks.
sand.
Yeah,
Never.
seriously.
Big up the Northern Ireland crew. My nan is from Ross Trevors, and I really want to go
and I
there
want
one
to go
day.
along the log
and visit
bridge
the
in
Giant's
Northern
Causeway.
Ireland, so I'm going to have to go and pay a visit soon.
I think
There's
it's a shame about the massive diversity. You know,
Yeah, well, I mean, Northern
But,
Ireland is quite. I'm quite passionate about that because we need them back in the union. At the moment,
Yeah.
as it stands, they're not governed by us. So
and you got to think
the
Northern
union,
Ireland. It's
I think
such a
it's
small.
disgusting.
It's such
But
a small place
Maybe Northern
as
Ireland
well.
doesn't want to be back.
Like-
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they do.
yeah, they do.
The thing is, it's a good job. We all know that diversity is our strength.
Diversity causes division.
Yeah.
Oh, your faces when I said that was brilliant.
Keep that reaction.
Listen,
What
I'm
is
into
she saying?
freedom of speech. I believe in freedom of speech, and even if those, I can agree, not agree, but I still believe as long as you're inciting. I'm gonna always get that bloody word wrong. Inciting, violence. Like then you should be able to show your opinions, because when you restrict people's
Yeah.
speech, you can't show who they treat, who's people you really are. Everyone's got to be
No.
watered down, and I don't like that because I'm autistic and I like the truth, and the truth will set you free, and the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
is the truth.
Well, it's behavioural modification, which in Intel circles is known as mind control. Because if you're controlling someone's speech, you're controlling what's going on in their mind, and you're modifying their behaviours. It's actually abusive when you
But we
think
tell
it
people,
through
tell the
properly.
truth, tell the truth. In court, swear on the Bible, swear on whatever, you know, a book, or put your hand up. Make sure you tell the truth. But so that, and also, like, I've got to say, my nan used to say, the harshest truth is always better than the sweetest lie.
Absolutely.
Because the truth, and I can't say, well, the truth is the truth. Like, whichever
say,
way
you
it
always-
swings.
You always swear on the Bible, etc., like you say. But of course, when
Right,
King
come and
Mohammed
sort the
comes in,
sausage
he's going to
out,
be
please.
swearing on the bloody Quran, isn't he? So it's
Which doesn't even exist, by the way. But there you go. That's for another stream, isn't it?
Another day, they've all been destroyed, and they're just for a Wyatt. That's something I can say I've learned from Big Nose.
There you go, Ravaya. It means yes, he said, she
Sausage
said, like
problems.
narrations. It's Chinese whispers. It's no such thing as the Quran. They burnt that years ago.
They did. There's none left, is there? And all the ones that have been redone have been translated.
so now we're on to the Quran. That'll be another hour of stream to go. Now that we've moved on
That's
to the
it. Well,
Quran. as
listen,
well.
I've got to go sort my dog out and eat
Probably
my
a couple
dinner.
of hours.
People.
I
So
just need a flask of tea.
I'm off. Okay, you lot talk about your thing, because I've really got to go and sort the dog out. She's been going crazy, and I've got to eat my dinner, so I've got to go. Okay, okay.
All right,
Yeah,
God
see you
I'll
later,
see
bless.
you
Zen.
soon.
Yeah, no, I'm
Bye.
gonna,
Thank you,
anyway, we're gonna say goodbye to everybody.
Oh, I don't know how to get out.
I'll do more.
Thank
of
you,
these.
Joan
As I say,
Rooney,
I
for
think
your,
it's a great
nice
panel
words
we
there.
have with all four of us.
Zion's in
Yeah.
the chat as well. Zion's a good
Hi,
egg.
Zion.
So
So I'm missing some people in the chat. Do forgive me if I haven't shouted you out, but thanks for everyone coming. Please hit that like button before you leave. Hi, Zion,
And subscribe
Yeah, like and subscribe,
and share and leave a
Yeah.
comment.
If you like the content,
even
then,
if it's rude.
subscribe. Please. Much appreciated. And I say, if you like the song, let me know. I'm probably going to bring that out on its own so everyone can listen to it. At their own
Spotify it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
yeah. But where's he
Oh,
gone?
he's off
I
again.
really want to find out who Joan Rooney is now. Right, Joan, when you see us
No,
again,
David.
make sure you. It looks like our signal's going. Joan, if you see us again, make sure you tell us
You've
who
got
you
no
are.
screen.
And thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. It's been
Everyone
enjoyable.
all right? I
Good
think
to have you in the chat.
I think the stream.
Nice to meet you. Talk to you, Lieutenant, as well, love.
Likewise,
Yeah.
then. It's been
And,
lovely being
can't
here
hear
with you
anything.
all.
And all the comments have
lovely
been
to
really
have
nice, so
Lieutenant on.
thanks for that. No,
Oh, you're
no horriblest. Not accused of being a bot today.
There's only certain people I call
An
bots. You're
extreme
not one of
bot.
them.
Yeah, I'm an extreme bot, apparently. An extreme.
Extremely lovely, I would say. Just ignore them. Put your own spin on it.
There you go.
But they say extreme. Like my ADHD is like I'm extreme. Like I don't. Once again, sometimes you really have to go far to insult me, because I've got a twisted way of seeing things.
Full of energy and wisdom.
Well, no, I can relate to that. There was once I was being
Hello,
absolutely
can you hear
rollicked
me?
by my mother. I was still a teenager.
I can't hear anyone. Can you hear
And
me? Give me
there
a
was
thumbs
something
up.
she called me.
you
I
can.
can't remember what it was, and
I
it was
can't hear
supposed to
anyone. I
really
think my
offend
volume's
me,
gone.
but I
As long as
loved
you can
it.
hear me, I'm going to end it now, everyone. I'm going to play the song.
Oh, okay,
and then I'm
okay.
gonna finish off the,
It's
stream
technical
at the end of the
difficulties. We're
song.
out. We've
So I'll
got
say
to go.
goodbye to everybody now.
We're all getting kicked out again.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for being
Bye,
here.
Bye.
everyone.
Bye. God
I
bless.
can't hear anything, so
Give me a follow, Zen Marty, all
I will
platforms.
let you listen out to the song, and then we'll be off. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
I am One Generation Media, and this is my media. One Gen Media, walking the streets with a yes, yes of the UK, the courage of the UK, pushing my cam to the limits. I'm standing right here in a crowd, or in London town. One Gen Media, walking the streets with a yes, yes. Keeping the faith in a crowded place. Gotta realize MSM real lives. No mics in faces, I'm standing right here, ready with questions, give me your answers. One generation media, first generation of true media, needed everywhere with my real life. No one feeding me lines, talking points on nothing, for a self-made journal. I'm your YouTube, you know it's pretty sick. Gotta realize all the MSM real lies, bringing you the news that the legacy refused. One generation media, first generation of true media, needed everywhere with my real lies. First person view, reporting of current affairs. I am one generation media, and this is my media. One gen media, walking the streets with a yes, yes, holding a mic to the voiceless, shining a light on the silencers, keeping our speech free in the UK. I am one generation media, and they use us as cogs in a wheel that they